So in my quest to figure out my cooling problems with this truck, I have swapped radiators, 2 water pumps, all the hoses, belt, everything that you can possibly think of. And the last thing I did was swap radiators. And in swapping the radiator, I found out that my lower radiator hose had collapsed inside. Let me show you. I don't know if this is going to show up on camera or not. You can kind of see in there, maybe a little bit, that the hose is actually collapsed on itself. And I learned that when I was putting it back on. So I went ahead and swapped them, and right after I did that, the upper one blew. So it's got 2 new hoses on it with the radiator I swapped in. And after I replaced the hoses and the radiator cap and my clutch fan, and then noticed the radiator was leaking, I have since decided I'm going to put my old radiator back in that was not leaking and hope for the best. So we're going to go ahead and change this thing real quick. One thing you want to remember, if you're working on one of these, if you even touch that alternator, absolutely be sure to loosen the oil lubrication hose for the vacuum pump that's built onto the back of the alternator. You do not want that hose to break. So just loosen it so when you back off the alternator it can rotate and not bind itself and cause a break. Because that's happened to me. That's how I learned my lesson. That was a horrible day. Okay, pulled out the radiator, got the fan out, the shroud, belts are off, hoses are all off, everything is off. All I gotta do is move the shroud to the other radiator and get the fan put all back in here and it will be ready to go. Okay, so we got the radiator in, we've got all the hoses on, all the belts on, putting some antifreeze in it. Just had water in it. That was the purpose of all of this, really, was because of the leaks and the amount of work I was doing on it. I just had water in it, and it's supposed to get down to the high 20s over the next couple of days, and we can't just have water in it. So I figured since I was going to drain it and have to put water in it, antifreeze, I may as well swap the radiator. It only took probably like an hour or something. Really didn't take long, but I really don't think this is going to help anything. But since the other one was seeping a little bit when it got under pressure, this other one needed to be in it anyway. Who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and we've been nice enough over the past couple of months, people in general, where we've built up enough good karma, it will cool a little bit better since it can hold pressure like it's supposed to. But we'll see.
What's up, guys? So you can probably see with the backdrop what I'm driving. It is Monday today, and I put the old radiator back in this thing on Saturday. Yesterday I drove it down to my dad's shop. It's 30 miles one direction, and it was a little cooler yesterday than it is today. I ran it real easy. I didn't go over 55 the whole time, but it did okay. I made it. I didn't have to pull over. It didn't boil over or anything, but it did heat more than it should have. That said, I decided to risk it, take it to work today, which is where we're going. And it was doing fine, it was running nice and cool. Then I got a little cocky coming up one of these hills and all the traffic by the college and felt like flexing a little bit and held to the floor coming up one of the hills, and it's warmed up a little bit. It's about where it used to run, and I'm going to try to baby it a little bit so it doesn't heat any more than it already has. But regardless, it is most certainly better. I think I actually know what the problem is. I've been in denial about it for a long time. I'm pretty sure I've got a bad head gasket and it's leaking a little bit. The antifreeze doesn't have oil in it. The oil doesn't have water in it. However, the antifreeze is always really dirty. And I know part of that is just this dirty block, but you can see in the smoke how it's got kind of a grayish, whitish haze. And I don't think it should be quite that light. This truck doesn't have a turbo on it, and it is diesel obviously, so it is going to smoke black, but it should not be so gray. And I'm pretty sure it's consuming water somehow. And if you add everything up, the heating problems, water disappearing, the smoke color, I think I've got a very slight leak in the head gasket. And that's my end project to fix this, is to pull the head off and change head gaskets, retorque the head, check it, make sure it doesn't have a crack or something in it. My next step, I'm having problems getting the heater to work. I am positive it's a clogged heater core. I've been fighting that for a long time. I believe I said in one of my previous videos about this, the previous owner put cans of stop leak in this and plugged everything up. So I'm going to put a couple cans of coolant flush in this little bitch, and I'm going to run it for an extended period of time, repeatedly, with flush in it. And we're going to see if we can get some of that crap out of this thing. And I'm also going to do an Epsom salts treatment down the intake on this and see if I can get rid of any carbon buildup, which I'm absolutely positive this has a bunch of. So, bottom line, we've severely helped it. Since I said it was heating up, it has cooled down back to where it was. I think we got it pretty good enough where we can drive it when I feel like it to work, if I take the back roads and not on the interstate. So, project was a success, more or less. And there is a black Protege 5 right back there, if you can see it, bone stock. Shame I'm not in my car. So, looks like we did some good. She's washed up, she's driving around again. This is good news.